Andrew Huynh. I'm born and raised in Northern California. I'm really passionate about researching how business innovation and policy advocacy can work hand in hand together to advance equitable public education. Businesses are increasingly stepping into leadership roles in education reform, revealing both positive impacts and challenges. What really motivates me from my perspective is quite simple. My parents did not sacrifice so many things in their life to give me this life, and only for me to settle for what isn't my best work. And so, let's say whenever I'm feeling down, unmotivated, and even sad at sometimes, I think to myself, I'm not only doing what I'm doing for myself, I'm doing it for those who have gotten me here.
How did you figure out you really like this area?
Well, my interest in business began as early as first grade when I began to sell handmade paper bracelets during recess. And I actually managed to sell about 30 bracelets, even though all of them were free. And really, that small project, it really sparked a lifelong passion for entrepreneurship, creativity, and solving problems through innovative ideas, such as a lack of creativity on our wrists in first grade. And really, over time, this interest grew beyond just business. It expanded into a deep concern for public education. So currently, as a high school junior, I really began to notice issues in my school and public education in general that I really couldn't ignore, such as limited access to advanced courses like AP classes, outdated and insufficient learning devices. Our Chromebooks at school are really outdated, and even a $10 million budget cut going into the next school year. And that's truly when I started to explore the world of policy advocacy, and I realized that while policy can create the frameworks for change, business innovation can often provide the tools and momentum to make that change scalable and sustainable.
All right, so let's go into the initiatives that you have created on your own. Business for Kids. What is that? Like, how did you get into it?
Business for Kids operates through online webinars, speaker events, college preparatory advice for high school students, and again, even in-person workshops at different elementary schools. So I actually joined Business for Kids pretty recently, about last year, and that's when my drive and passion for business started to grow. This is the initiative and project that I can join to truly make an impact in other students' lives, not just mine, and to share the knowledge I've gained with other students. One student that really stuck with me, his name is Jaden. He attends Ashburn Elementary, and he joined our financial literacy workshop that we held there. And so I noticed that at first he was like really quiet and shy, one of the more shyer students. But after a fun Kahoot budgeting activity, he became really excited about learning his spending and practicing it. And he told me that he couldn't wait to show his parents. And really, I'm going to be so honest, him take what he learned and apply it at home really just reminded me why my work and this work in general matters. It's about really empowering students with real life skills they can apply.
So you're the new co-chief operating officer.
Yes, I am.
Yes. What's an area that you want to work on?
While we have launched many successful workshops and programs for, let's say, elementary and middle school students, I guess one of my personal goals as the new co-chief operations officer is to really broaden our impact by developing opportunities that go beyond the traditional classroom style sessions. I'd really love to implement like more initiatives that engage with a broader audience, such as like, let's say, high school students through hands-on experiences, like let's say externships with startups, because I know another nonprofit did that recently, and even mentorship pairings with industry professionals. And I really believe like these types of experiences can provide deeper real world exposure to the fields that these students want to go into.
Focus on your San Jose Youth Council committee work. What do you think was a problem in your community that you discovered like through participating in that youth council committee?
Originally, we weren't actually focusing on public education. We were focusing on homelessness. In my opinion, the most pressing issue facing equitable education for youth in San Jose right now is really the sharp decline in academic performance, especially among students in underdeserved communities. And really, this challenge is caused by a lack of focus on more core academic subjects, again, limited access to advanced coursework, which are really critical for long-term student success. And really, again, adding on to this already big issue, again, is the $10 million budget cut. And these cuts essentially threaten to reduce essential programs and resources for students. And this really only furthers widening the achievement gap and limiting opportunities for students who need it the most.
Obviously, when you dig into an issue, there's so many strands that affect it, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the hardest part about thinking about solutions to these problems, especially since you are a high school student?
Often, what works in one community may not be effective in another or even feasible in another community, often due to differences in resources, culture, and even priorities in different schools. And really, creating meaningful change requires patience, collaboration, definitely within our committee, and a willingness to adapt our approaches to different challenges as we learn more about them.
So when you went to the San Francisco Spring Economic Forum,
Yes. Mhm.
you mentioned that you presented this case study about youth
Yeah.
homelessness as an Bay Area. What was the focus of your case study, and yeah, what were your findings?
We were asked to address the problems about the most pressing problems economically in our region, right? In our region currently. And my friend Laya and I, because we already have experience dealing with the epidemic of homelessness through our San Jose committee, we figured that maybe this is a problem that we should address because we have a lot of experience in it. One of the most surprising things that we discovered while researching youth homelessness in the Bay Area is really the sheer scale of the issue. Over 230,000 students in California public schools experience homelessness during this school year alone. And with the Bay Area as we're located, we recorded that there are over 3,000 homeless students right now. And really, despite these staggering numbers, youth homelessness continues to remain a largely overlooked aspects of the broader housing crisis. This lack of awareness means that youth-specific needs, like let's say access to quality education, mental health support, and even stable housing, are frequently neglected in policy discussions. When homelessness is covered on the news, it's more just like a general topic. Oh, look at this homeless individual. But there's so much complexity under that umbrella of homelessness.
What would you say to that past self?
It's okay to make mistakes and feel unsure with what you do. That's how you learn. And most importantly, to never stop believing that your ideas and efforts can make a difference. Because no matter how small they are, no matter how small they may seem now, just keep dreaming, keep trying, and really just keep being you. And don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do what you do.
If you could give advice to a student or any high school student that's stressed out right now, what would you say to them?
I think I'd have two words of advice for them. With everything that you do, your academics, your extracurriculars, truly find the reason why you do what you do. Because although you might have a lot of, you might be really smart, let's say you have a lot of extracurriculars and you're involved in so many things, having that drive in your own self will push you further than any false motivation that you've created for yourself. Second piece is literally do not care about what anyone else is doing. Of course, have role models, but in a more negative light, do not. Don't look at anyone else and say, I want to be like them. Why can't I be as achieved as them? Focus on yourself, because your drive, your passion, and focusing on yourself, again, will get you so much further than anyone who's created false motivation.
What's the worst part about being a junior or being in high school right now?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So aside from all the drama and tea, because literally I just saw a week ago, some of my old friends, they kind of jumped a student. So besides from all the drama and tea, I say definitely academics. Oh my God. Literally everybody knows junior year is the worst. And they literally were not lying. It's time to build up your activities, your academics, and the pressure is insane. I think this past month, especially with all the AP exams, I've been averaging what, 2 to 3 hours of sleep per night. So I'm ah.
You're from the Bay Area, and everyone talks
Yeah.
about the Bay Area competitive culture, and it's crazy and it's so overwhelming. Do you think that's true?
I believe that is so true, especially in my high school. And everybody's always talking about how competitive the environment is. Everybody's taking 10 AP classes, 1,000 extracurriculars, have the best relationships with their teachers. And it's okay, you're doing all this stuff, but what does it mean? And so, yeah, going back to my personal mantra, don't compare yourself with other students. Compare yourself to yourself. And you're on your own path, and whatever happens is meant to happen.